biggest match, a bit much. Luther, yes,
I'm Papa match now.
Yes, all match today.
I'm the pass of his match. Benfica for a show.
Last time I be doing come at the time we win against Feyenoord. And then it's now doing come say when it comes to final, then the side of Fenerbache, even with Jose Mouriho, all really and also all go into the playoff final against Benfica. It is something that something amazing for the side of Jose Mouriho. It is something that to me, in most of the football clubs that with me coach he has been able to do the unthinkable jobs for these football clubs. At Chelsea, within the 50 years of the English Premiership, he came into the football club and then he turned things around for them to win it back to back. So Real Madrid Football Club, it took a moment in time. Now in the Champions League, Omuntimin qualified even over the quarter-final stage. But he went in and settled that kind of history for Real Madrid. Even to the extent that Otimi stopped the dominance of Barcelona in the La Liga. When it comes to Inter Milan, he did the same history for them. The last time that Italian club edged treble within the season, but when he came, he settled all of these things and won that thing for the side of Inter Milan. And if Jose Mourinho, now one didn't be the side of Fenerbahce, because in the last 16 years, Fenerbahce ain't board the UEFA Champions League. The last time Fenerbahce ever UEFA Champions League was far back in 2008-2009 season. And in that season, no man qualified and found even into the quarter-final stage of that particular competition. Since 2009-2010 season, 2010-2011 season, Fenerbahce ain't qualify and go into the Champions League. So we go into the playoff or mutimi elusi no makobo the Europa League and no intimate more Fenerbahce in the last couple of years. But so we'll check it between these particular two football clubs. The last 12 meetings at these two football clubs, Benfica has been able to make sure so really close to about 8 games for themselves. Fenerbahce in the last 12 games has just won just 1 game against the side of Benfica. And it tells you, say, at any moment in time, Benfica is show almost supremacy when it comes to dominating ahead of Fenerbahce in most of the games. But in the last 6 games, no attracted to come back since 2013. The last 6 games that these two football clubs, Benfica has been able to win close to about 3 games, 2 draws for themselves, and then 1 win for Fenerbahce. It tells you, say, even 6 games, Fenerbahce was just 1 win. With the last 13 games, the side of Fenerbahce Essence was just 1 win. It tells you, say, baby or Befibiano, the side of Benfica Essence was dominating ahead of Fenerbahce in that particular football competition. But the Fenerbahce in terms of European games or Mabo, 289 matches in European Champions League, especially in the UEFA Champions League. But then Fenerbahce has been able to have 114 wins for themselves, 62 draws, and then 113 losses. The number of goals that Fenerbahce when it comes to UEFA competition, 62 draws is close to about 397 goals for themselves. Whilst conceded 411 goals for themselves. So it tells you, say, when it comes to this particular competition, they've been able to score more goals, even more than the side of Benfica. So it tells you, say, at this particular crucial moment in time, so open one particular football club or that kind of number of goals in terms of expectancy, we should look ahead of the side of Fenerbahce, we be looking over the side of Benfica in most of these matches. But then Benfica home and Casano. 3 matches between Benfica and then Fenerbahce. In all of these particular 3 games, Fenerbahce ain't me winning back. Just 0 draws na the side of Fenerbahce and just 0 defeats for the side of Benfica. It tells you, say, Benfica and so dominating home Fenerbahce intimate home since 2013. That kind of UEFA Champions League the side of Benfica home now. The side of Benfica was able to win in the aggregate of close to about 4-1 against the side of Fenerbahce. In 2018, when they met, almost also winning close to about 5-2 in terms of aggregates against the side of Fenerbahce. And then even in the side of 2019, when they met, they were able to win the same scoreline against the side of Fenerbahce. So it tells you, say, when it comes to all other games in terms of these particular competitions, the side of Benfica is also dominating. But so we'll check it. The last time, and that's the first time at these particular 2 football clubs, it's me meeting, was far back in 1975 and 1976 when they met in the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. The side of Fenerbahce losing close to about 7-0 in Lisbon to the side of Benfica, and just 1-0 of Fenerbahce for home at Omankasa home grounds. Then we talk about 2012-2013 Europa League semi-final. Fenerbahce winning 1-0 home, and then they came to Benfica for home, and then they lost close to about 3-1 Omankasa away boy against Benfica. So Hanoso Intimian Kuye and Famomo. These are some of the things that Jose Mourinho should look into these particular statistics and make sure the meeting against Benfica or Benfica for Omankasa home, they can easily win that particular game. Omu coach need to just say meeting against Fenerbahce, and then even the coach at handed Jose Mourinho or that kind of experience of which he must share against Omu. But also propelling the team, they say in any moment or nobody the 4-3-3 tactical system, he will make sure say the side of Fenerbahce a lot of things in terms of counter attacks to a footballer, also be defended very well, and then he will try as much as possible to also rate in the counter attacking to a football against Fenerbahce. But so I will check the training sessions. Jose Mourinho a year and now it was one particular training session that all dictated on the home grounds, and as Benfica or Mankasa a home grounds. That was the 5v2 situation. All making sure to be my invented Edema Benfica for or Mankasa a home. So we check the type of tactical identity. Jose Mourinho ebo Edema Fenerbahce it's just the 4-3-3 system. This time around, it is not the same Jose Mourinho in most of these football clubs who are coaching, not about the 5-4-1 and that's the 4-5-1 tactical flexibility. But when it comes to Fenerbahce, about the 4-3-3 tactical system, then he makes sure so all defender or be defended in the 5-4-1 situation for the side of Fenerbahce. That makes his tactical identity become a low block system for himself. It is a wish into the midfield. As a medo airball, you check the side of Amrabat or Nobo in the typical number 6 role for the side of Fenerbahce. Fred Airball as a traditional number 8. Semedo now Albon in most of the runs, he also plays him as a left fullback player or Obo Edema the side of Fenerbahce. But so Obo in that particular midfield shape, so more tracking about defensive wise, he comes back to help Noda or Nobo in the left fullback position for the side of FC Fenerbahce. It tells you say at any moment in time, Jose Mourinho can easily defend against the side of Benfica. No one checking Bruno Lage's tactical identity for the side of Benfica. Also, but a similar 4-3-3 tactical identity. But Senemidi can kind of say when he is meeting against Fenerbahce, he is making sure say honorable the 4-3-3 tactical identity, and then he will make sure to be defended similar like Jose Mourinho honorable the 5-4-1 tactical situation, also be defended in that particular moment. But one of these key moments, a bit may define it at the other side of these two football clubs is the player individuals or more these particular two football clubs. El Nesri one particular attacker or body myself Fenerbahce. In the last couple of games for Bodema Fenerbahce, he has been able to score 6 goals in this particular competition. So in terms of that kind of play, Obitima setting up the difference. For Fenerbahce against Benfica, he is up there at any moment in time. He can create a lot of dangerous threats in the defensive structure of Benfica or Mankasa opposing half. Then you talk about John Duran in the last game, so about the other side of Fenerbahce. Also, what to match a lot of goals with a lot of assists for Fenerbahce in most of the usual games about the Amomo in last season and even to this particular season. It tells you that also at any moment in time, he can give them that particular 10 for them. Szymanski, one particular player in the right wing forward for Fenerbahce, he operates there as a versatile player in any moment in time. Was also Timibon as a traditional number 8. So defend here. He gives them that double numbers for the side of Fred Onusobo in the attacking front of Fenerbahce or Makasa Ehonum. But Onuso in offensive manner, he has a lot of numerical superiority for Fenerbahce in the attacking front. That makes this particular team of Jose Mourinho a dangerous threat even ahead of Benfica. Because we'll check it the side of Amrabat, now we'll check it Obije Semedo, now we'll check it Fred Ewunfinfiwa. These are a world experienced players at any moment in time. In a centric midfield ahead of Benfica, they can easily neutralize their grounds. It tells you, say, Jose Mourinho can easily score. This particular evening, I'm hoping, said that Jose Mourinho can easily win, close to about 2-1.
Obeja Benfica
2-1.
Why? Martina, audio can